Listen up. At 6:47 a.m. on a drizzly Tuesday, some HOA busybody made a boneheaded call that cost her everything. $2.3 million in fallout and 8 long years behind federal bars. It kicked off with a snip of those bolt cutters on the wrong damn ride. Clang. That sharp, gut-wrenching snap ripped through the quiet suburb like a thunderclap, turning Victoria Langford Hayes from neighborhood queen to full-blown federal screw-up in under 30 seconds flat. While I was halfway across the world, knee-deep in the grit of taking down smuggling rings, this self-crowned ruler decided my beat-up ride was cramping her perfect lawn vibes. What she couldn't wrap her head around. That Jeep was task force gear, stuffed with $347,000 in top-secret spy tech, and I'm the Fed who hunts down syndicates for a living. She figured she was just hauling off some grunt's junker. Nah, she pulled off stunts that'd make kingpins sweat. What would you do if some nosy tyrant trashed your stuff while you were out there bleeding for this country? Hit me with a thumbs-up emoji and shout out where you're tuning in from. Let's count the real ones out there. My name's Alex Hawk Thompson, and 3 months back, I figured scoring my Nana's old place would be the win of a lifetime. God, was I off base. Evergreen Meadows, think cookie-cutter cookie hell, where every roof's that same bland taupe. Sprinklers whisper on timers like they're gossiping, and the fake pine scent can't drown out the reek of superiority complexes. HOA fees? $150 a month for standards. Code for shelling out cash so one control freak can turn your dream spot into a nightmare. I'm National Guard CID, fresh off the boat into a joint-fed narcotics squad. Nana Elena's bungalow was my anchor. Rent it out while I'm gone, stack some stability, pay back the rock who pulled me through after my folks got taken in a wreck when I was just a scared kid. That place? It still carries her scent. Fresh cornbread and sage, every warped plank whispering lessons from her endless patience. "Mijo," she'd murmur, eyes fierce with that quiet fire. "You face down the mean ones, but you do it with heart, not hate." Then came Victoria Langford Hayes. Envision a 52-year-old property hawk in her pearl-white Escalade, ruler in hand for lawn audits like it's the damn Olympics. 7 years lording over the HOA had morphed her into a pint-sized despot. Her hubby, Edward, perches on the town board, feeding her this god complex. This lady? She slaps fines for holiday bulbs lingering past New Year's. 2 weeks into my stint abroad, dodging shadows in the dust, the email slams in. Violation alert. Unapproved work rig parked. My Fed-issue Jeep, plastered with agency plates, was suddenly a blight in her eyes. Vic's twisted read on the rules? No job trucks in driveways. What escaped her notice? That rig's packed with $200,000 in cartel-busting wizardry. Beacons, scramblers, ghost cams, all Uncle Sam's, needing brass sign-off to budge an inch. The slap? $50 daily, piling up as I'm hunkered in foxholes. My kid, sis, Sophia, heart of gold elementary whiz, tried talking sense to this ice queen. She rolls up, flashes my deployment papers, even floats, tarping the thing. "Rules are rules," Vic hisses, eyeing Soph like roadkill. "If your brother's too slack for basics, maybe this hood's not your speed." That call from Soph? It guts me still, her words fracturing over the line from Nana's scarred oak table. "Hawk," she threatened a lien on the house, said Ed's got pull at the district, backing you could tank my gig. Soph sniffed out the rot. The Parkers, he's a core leatherneck, dinged for his bike's rumble. Emily Torres, sailor's bride with hubs away, slapped for tacky yard art. Every service fam in Evergreen was in the crosshairs. But the gut punch? Vic's infractions were straight-up inventions. Soph unearthed the true covenants in Nana's yellowed stack from '89. Uncle Sam's rides? Exempt as hell, first responders, troops, badges, all shielded. Vic was cooking bylaws on the fly, banking on folks too worn or wary to dig. The block buzzed with fence-line mutters, but no one's piping up. Vic had brewed a brew of dread. Challenge her, and you're next. Ed's ties made pushback feel like punching fog. That's when it hit me like a frag. This ain't about curb appeal. It's a targeted hit on service kin by a crooked board with hall passes from the suits. Sand gritting my teeth, mid-call with Soph, diesel tang and panic sweat in 110-degree blaze. Nana's echo drilling deep. Face 'em right, mijo. Out there, grinding to starve the streets of poison, some pampered potentates scheming to gut my bloodline with bogus bills and mind games. Vic Langford Hayes had picked a scrap with the Fed who carves up crews, and her petty empire was my new bullseye. Vic's follow-up dropped 48 hours on pure cul-de-sac carnage. Certified mail thuds into Soph's box. Yank that heap now, or it's towed in 24. Yeah, 24, not a mercy 48. This witch was gunning for Fed iron while I'm ghosts in the wire. Copy to Ed's office and the badges, ranting urgent hazards and blight bombs. All smoke, but dressed in legalese to cow you. Soph dials from Nana's nook, panic threading her tone over the board's familiar groan. Hawk, a wrecker's prowling the circle. Drivers eyeballing your Jeep like fresh meat. Nana's cinnamon ghosts couldn't chase the chill in her breath. Mindfuck HOA edition. That's when I swung back. First blood. I pinged JAG, those shark attorneys who chew rights abuses like gum. Lieutenant Colonel Maria Reyes scans my file, her calm cracking to holy hellfire. Thompson, this harpy's eyeing Fed enforcement kit. That's no parking ticket. That's a felony flag. Quick fact, SCRA ain't just evictions. It walls off service folks' turf from meddlers. But prime cut? My Jeep's no joyride, it's DC's toolbox. Reyes blasts a beef to post HQ, lighting a Fed military probe fuse. Vic's ego trip? Now, pinging brass with real teeth. But the twist that twisted the knife? Soph raids Nana's archives, and in 20 minutes, jackpot. Vic's poison pen to zoning brass, nixing GI aid in Evergreen 'cause short-term soldiers slack on routes. Plain, she'd been blackballing badges for years. Crinkled sheets shredding under Soph's grip as she snaps pics, her gasp slicing the static. Hawk, she's been purging every service soul here. The Parkers tagged for kiddos' trike clutter. The Washingtons? Noise beef over a fussy infant's wails. No fluke, this was blueprint bigotry, propped by Ed's clout. See? Ed's got a fat condo flip brewing, needing HOA nods for rezones. Service rigs and hopscotch tours, kills the elite enclave pitch. Soph's classroom smarts fired up. She webs the hits, stacking docs like ammo. Bogus tags, menace mail, bully plays, she's unwittingly forging a Fed bias bomb. But Vic ramps it, breaching a line that'd scar her soul. Heels stabbing pavement echo through Soph's feed as Vic inspects Nana's spread, snapping my Jeep like a perp walk, taping buffers with her gadget. Service don't buy rule breaks, she sneers at Soph, that superior snarl begging a reality check. Maybe your crew's better off elsewhere. Dog whistle for not our sort. My riposte? Flip the Jeep's ghosts, routine Fed tracers and cams. Gold, Vic's trespassed 17 times in 72 hours. Paparazziing agency gear, sans clearance. That's not nosy, that's spy adjacent. When my lead, Lieutenant Elena Vasquez, catches wind of this lawn lady scoping narco bait and squeezing badges, her barks all bite. Thompson, how messy you want her world. The Feds were about to school Vic Langford Hayes on fallout she never clocked. Vic's panic play crested 3 days post-JAG, and it gutted my kin near to breaking. She rolls out elite guard patrols for compliance checks. 2 goons in a unmarked Tahoe, clocking my Jeep hourly like it's a nuke. But the venom? What they whispered to the block? Soph rings sobbing over patchy sat-link from my sand-swept hole. Hawk, they're branding you a hazard, that your rig's a threat vector. Mrs. Riley won't glance her way now, Soph's hitches blending with outpost gusts carved ice in my ribs. These scum were shredding our name while I couldn't shield 'em. My swing? Scalpel sharp, but 7,000 miles off. Calls rationed like water. I loop Vasquez next slot, spilling how rent-a-cops are ghosting Fed Tech. Her curveball, tricky, Thompson. If we storm, we feed their danger yarn. Let 'em knot their noose. The hook? I tap the Jeep's eyes. Fed rides pack more eyes than a precinct. PIRS, thermals, geolocks, auto-snaps in 15 feet. Clips drop a chill. Vic ain't logging tickets. At 1:52 a.m., she's flash-peering cabs, framing dash guts, jiggling doors. Hunting Fed's secrets. Worse, she's got backup. Feeds show her flagging kit to guards, snapping comms close-ups. The hood's fracturing, Soph footing the bill. School moms grill if a risk kin should mold minds. Her boss hauls her for concerns chats. Chalk haze and dread lace her next line. Hawk, they're gutting my job. Vic fed PTA that badges breed chaos and leaks. She's weaponizing my work. That's when the veil rips. This ain't turf beef. They're dismantling my blood, me chained afar. Helpless grit tastes like grit and fury in a SIGINT shack. War hums mocking as some home front hack unravels my sis.
When the 2 patrol cars screeched to a halt in my driveway, lights flashing like it was a raid, my stomach twisted. 4 officers jumped out, hands on their belts, treating it like I was armed and dangerous. Officer Ramirez, a veteran with kind eyes and the patience of a saint, approached me first. His partner, Officer Hayes, a burly guy who looked like he could bench press a tank, hung back with a notebook. "Evening, sir," Ramirez said calmly. "We got a report of a stolen vehicle at this address." The absurdity slammed into me, leaving me dizzy. Stolen? In my own garage? "Officer, this is my car, my house. That's like accusing me of stealing my own TV." Laughter bubbled up, nervous and disbelieving, but fear kept it in check. Karen popped up beside them like a bad dream, still gripping her phone. "That's him! That's the thief! I just bought that exact Camaro yesterday for $45,000. I took a deep breath, the exhaust from the Camaro still lingering in the air, grounding me. "Stay cool, Jamal. Dad always said, paperwork beats panic every time." "Officers, I can prove this is mine right now." I pulled out my phone, scrolling to the album of restoration photos. Ramirez swiped through them, his expression shifting from skepticism to admiration. From rust heap to primed body to the finished beast. Me in every shot, covered in grease, installing parts. "This is impressive work," he said, zooming in on the engine bay. "You do this for a living?" "Family business," I replied, pride cutting through the tension. Grandpa would have disowned me if I'd half-assed it. Karen, meanwhile, was losing it. "She's lying. Look at these." She shoved printed photos at them, stock images from some dealer site, no VIN, no nothing. Ramirez examined them politely. "Ma'am, do you have a bill of sale? Wire transfer? Anything?" Her face went beet red. "It's processing. Classic cars take time." While she rambled, I rummaged through my workbench for the binder. "Here's the DMV registration," I said, handing it over. "My name, my address, matching VIN from 18 months ago. Insurance, too. Progressive needed progress photos for coverage." His jotted notes, glancing at Karen's flimsy story. She was unraveling, her voice pitching higher. "He's forged it all. He's running some scam." That's when I pulled out the ace, the handwritten bill of sale from the estate sale. Shaky cursive from a 93-year-old widow. 1967 Chevrolet Camaro, as is, $3,200 cash. Signed Eleanor Hutchinson, with her number and date. Ramirez's eyes lit up. "This is solid. Ma'am, his documentation checks out. Yours doesn't." He turned to Karen, voice firm. "Filing a false report is a misdemeanor. You could face jail time." Her color drained, but her eyes flashed with something darker. Must be a mistake, stress from car shopping. As they left, I caught her watching me from her window, calculating. This wasn't over. The fear lingered, but so did a spark of determination. She picked the wrong guy to mess with. Monday hit hard. I shuffled to the mailbox in my rumpled work clothes, coffee in hand, and found an HOA violation notice. Unauthorized commercial vehicle storage. My work van, a plain Ford Transit with Thompson Auto Repair on the side, was suddenly a crime. $200 fine, 48 hours to comply. Karen's signature at the bottom, bold and smug. Through the window, I saw her power walking by, glancing at my van like it offended her personally. She looped past 17 times that morning. I counted. Annoyance flared into resolve. HOAs are contracts, not whims. My divorce lawyer drilled that into me. Always check the paper trail. At lunch, I hit the county courthouse, digging through records like a detective. Turns out my van was bought in 2017, 3 years before the 2020 rule change. Grandfathered, protected by law. I drafted a rebuttal, attached proofs, and delivered it to the HOA office. The receptionist read it, eyes widening. Mrs. Mitchell won't like this. She was right. By Wednesday, my mailbox was stuffed with more notices. Oil stains, I'd power wash monthly. Excessive automotive odors, what, the smell of hard work? Noise violations during legal hours. It was a paperwork blitz designed to wear me down. Frustration built, but I channeled it. Time to go high-tech. I installed 4 HD cameras. Cloud storage, night vision, the works. The footage showed Karen patrolling our fence line daily, phone out, measuring with a fancy yardstick. It was creepy, obsessive. My skin crawled watching her.
Thursday brought an emergency board meeting notice at 4 p.m. for a 7 p.m. start. Barely legal. I showed up to a sad trio. Karen, her jittery sidekick Clara, now let's call her Evelyn, who apologized for existing, and Janet, now Beatrice, the yes woman. "Where's the full board?" I asked, sitting down. Karen smirked. "This is sufficient. We're banning all auto repairs. $500 fine for past violations." I pulled up the bylaws on my phone. Section 4.3 needs 7 days' notice for votes. Section 4.7 requires 5 for quorum. This has no authority. Evelyn blushed. "Well, this is just..." And Section 2.9 says invalid meetings create personal liability. I'd spent hours researching, fueled by coffee and anger. Karen's face cracked. "You think you're smart, coming here with your type and your activities." The racism hit like a slap, raw and ugly. Hurt mixed with fury, but I stayed cool. I'm a homeowner who reads contracts. Novel, I know. Later, neighbor Alex, Tom, stopped by, sheepish. "Most of us think she's nuts. Coffee tomorrow? We need to talk." Friday's doorbell at 7:15 a.m. was city code enforcement. Dave Lopez, clipboard in hand, anonymous complaint about unlicensed repair business. I showed him the garage, spotless, tools organized. He relaxed. "Cleaner than my mechanics. No commercial signs? You're good." Off record, "Same caller 4 times this month. She needs a hobby." Karen's next move, a letter to my insurance claiming fire hazard. My agent, Bill, showed up, but spent time admiring the Camaro. "Someone's gunning for you. Your setup's top-notch." They sent her a cease and desist. Stop or face fraud charges. But she went digital. A Facebook group, Oak Ridge Neighborhood Watch. Posts of my van, garage, coded racism. Concerned about standards. Some activities belong in industrial zones. Alex showed me over coffee. "It's a dumpster fire." Comments split. Some defended me, sharing Karen's stories. She deleted dissent, sparking backlash. Sunday, nails scattered in my driveway, roofing tacks for tires. Cameras caught a hooded figure at 2 a.m., but that march was Karen's. Officer Hayes took the report seriously. Intimidation pattern. Keep documenting. Reviewing footage, I saw her surveying my property like a spy. Then an anonymous letter. Your kind doesn't belong. Leave or face consequences. Paper matched HOA notices. Detective Lopez, hate crime material. We're building a case. Alex's coffee group grew. 6 households with grievances. David, like Mike, lawyer, fined for fonts. Emily, like Sarah, accountant, cited for flowers. Group action wins, Alex said. We shared stories, bonding over shared outrage. From target to team, it felt empowering. At the courthouse basement, I uncovered gold. HOA finances, $15K to KM Consulting, Karen's home address, $8.5K to her gardens that never existed, $12K to her ex's firm. Total embezzlement, $78,000. Pattern, harass owners to sell cheap, pocket commissions. 3 families fled, the Hendersons over noise, the Patels over odors. My profile fit, single, no family. And her house? In default, $23K unpaid dues, foreclosure in 4 weeks. Desperation explained everything. I photocopied it all, hands shaking with excitement, called Alex. This changes everything. Saturday, Alex's garage became war room. Emily, forensic accountant, David, lawyer, Sophia, like Linda, teacher, Miguel, like Carlos, contractor. Emily, embezzlement's blatant. David, fiduciary breach, personal liability. Sophia, map timelines. Miguel, cameras everywhere. Plan, document, audit, run for board, file charges, media exposure. We let her think she was winning, gathering more evidence. Her foreclosure loomed, elections timed perfectly. Emily contacted reporter Jenna Mills. David, license renewal soon. Fraud kills it. As we dispersed, Alex, you're leading a revolution. I said, sometimes bullies pick wrong. Feeling the shift. Monday, Karen paced, yelling into phone, emergency meeting. Her notice, $500 assessment for legal defense against me. Alex recorded her rant. They're on to finances. If I leave, not alone. Wednesday, cameras caught her planting oil, slashing tires, face clear. Thursday, inspector found stickers on containers, false report, federal offense. Her Facebook rants, racist undertones, saved everything. Saturday, she tried bribing Miguel. $2,000 to forget cameras. Recorded, that man turned everyone against me. Sunday, false report. I threatened her. Officers found me with witnesses. 4th false, charges coming. Audit, $96K stolen. Acceleration. Tuesday, she broke into HOA office, shredding docs. Arrested mid-act. Bail, $25K. She sat in jail 3 days. Jail visit recording. Cash in garage, $50K, we disappear. Confession gold. Thursday, meeting, 43 households. Audit revealed, $112K theft. Unanimous no confidence. Friday, media, news vans, interviews, story exploded. Foreclosure, house sold cheap. Her 3 a.m. video, sobbing blame game. Deleted but screenshots eternal. Sentencing, packed court. I spoke first, voice steady despite nerves. Not about a car, power abuse, fear in homes. Others testified. Karen's excuses, mental health, no remorse. Judge, systematic abuse, racial harassment, 4 years prison, restitution $112K, probation. Applause thundered. Justice felt visceral, relieving. Outside, document, build community, truth wins. 6 months later, Oak Ridge thrives. New board, transparent. Garden flourishes, values up 15%, restitution paid. Karen in prison laundry, documentary won awards. I donated to scholarships. Emily and I are dating, shared strength. Camaro's famous,
I teach kids mechanics. Precedent set, Willowbrook Act passed. Emails from others inspire, block parties now tradition. Sharing stories builds community. Justice works when we fight together. And that's how it ended. For her, anyway. For us, it's just beginning.